Hi everyone, this is Andy Hughes. I'm here to show you around my Creating Innovative Uses of Technology project. When I did my searching project, I researched educational gaming, and what I found was that it's a good way to increase the motivation and engagement of students as they practice. Um, and I think that everyone can agree a little bit of extra engagement and motivation is a good thing. Alright, on to my lessons. I created two lessons, one covering integers and all their operations, add, subtract, multiply, divide, and one covering the 6th grade Common Core algebra portions for solving equations. And I'm going to show you through both lessons, and I will also show you how I use educational gaming as a common thread throughout. Alright, let's first look at the platform I used. I built websites from Weebly. It's a free website development software online. And I use a lot of different softwares throughout. Let me show you one of the pages, and this gives you an idea of how the format of each module throughout each lesson works. It starts with some video content. This is where the learning happens. The information is received. This is the adding integers page. So these videos, they go through various methods and examples of how to add integers. It starts with the concrete with the algebra tiles, goes to the pictorial using number lines, and below they get into the more abstract. So it's a gradual release from concrete to abstract. This gives them finally the algorithms and the rules that you and I all learned. And it says these videos were from YouTube, from Bolcleo1. That was a YouTube user, had lots of original video content they had created, and I got permission from him to use those throughout my lessons. If you look here, after the videos are all viewed, you have options. You can practice your skills. That's the more typical drill and practice kind of stuff. Some of it's printable, some of it's online, but it's just here's a question, give an answer. Here's a question, give an answer, and so on. Below there you see here's the play and adding integers game. Every page has some kind of game that uses the skills presented in that lesson or in that module. So let's click on one just to take a look and see how it looks. It opens in a new window, and you can see this is a racing game that requires the students to add integers. By adding integers correctly, they end up getting bonuses for their car, a booster, new tires, whatever it may be, to make their car run faster and to win the race. Again, hopefully engaging my students, my 6th grade students, and encouraging them to practice a little bit more. Once they've done their practice and played the game, they have a chance to test their knowledge. This is a formative assessment for them. I created this through Quiblo, and it's just a multiple choice adding integers, a quick 10 questions just for them to see, am I ready? Do I understand this as well as I thought I did? My suggestion to them is if they score 90% or better, they're ready to move on to the next thing. And there's a button to do that. So I'm not going to move through all these. They all look the same. It's video, and then it's practice, it's gaming, and then it's an assessment. And these 4 modules are what make up this first lesson. What is an integer, adding integers, subtracting integers, and multiplying, dividing. And that's lesson 1. Lesson 2 is another Weebly platform that covers the 6th grade Common Core algebra portion, specifically solving 1-2-step equations and equations with fractions. Alright, let me show you what one of these looks like. It's very similar to what you saw in the previous. There's a video portion um, from YouTube showing how to do these steps, gives us the algorithm, um, some examples, and definitions, things that we need to know. When we get to the practice, we have two options. We can print out a worksheet and do the typical paper and pencil practice for that, or also we can play the equation game. Let me show you what that looks like. This is a basketball game. It's for 1 or 2 players. You can do a time challenge, so you have some motivation to do better. You want to beat your previous score, beat your friend's score, get a little faster, make more shots. If you solve the equations correctly, you make a basket. You score points for your team, and so on. Again, hopefully a positive reinforcer and a motivational game for them to get practice. Once they're done with those things, they once again go on to a formative assessment, something that they can test just really quickly, get instant feedback to find out if they're ready or not, if they get what they're supposed to get. If they did do well on that, they have options to move on, or they can move back to more on solving equations. This will take them to an external website with more information if the information I provided wasn't quite enough for them. And that's one of the benefits of both of these lessons, is that they're self-paced. If a student needs to spend a little longer on any certain area, they're welcome to do that. And the students who are accelerated, they can move on and get a lot more done. They're not held back and they're not pushed forward. The pace is just right for them. And on to the final assessment piece. There's a couple ways I'm going to assess them. One is this 15-question multiple choice. It's got all the different all the different modules put together. Every skill. You have some 1-step, some 2-step, some with fractions, and it involves all the integer work as well. So I think it's a good quick way to gauge what they've learned. Another assessment tool, and this is also a tool that I added for collaboration with the students, is the class wiki here. I have a 6th grade algebra wiki, and I want to show you around a few pages to show you what this is for. This is to be used in conjunction with the lessons all the way through. There's an algebra dictionary. This will be for students to post words that are new to them with definitions, examples, resources, links, all those things. This is going to be ideally a living, working dictionary that's going to grow along with our knowledge and our ability. Past that, we have the algebra games, and this is a place for students to find and post their own games, the things that they find interesting. There are dozens and dozens of games out there that I ran into that had to do with algebra. Some of the students might find a lot more than I found. So the goal here is for them to post and share each other's games and hopefully encourage each other with a little friendly competition. This was also one of the assessment tools I have. Students will be encouraged to post their high scores, the high achieved levels in whatever games that they play, so that I can see their achievements, and then they can share their achievements with the rest of the class, which should be motivating as well. The final section I have here is the Q&A. The purpose of this was to give students a chance to share knowledge with each other. If they have a question, they don't have to come to me. They can ask each other. And this is beneficial to both the person asking the question and the person answering the question, because the person answering, I always say the best way to learn something is to teach it. So they benefit on both ends from this Q&A section. And that is my creating project. I have the two lessons, the adding or the integers portion and the algebra portion, and then the wiki that supports the whole process. If you have any questions or comments, suggestions, feel free to let me know.